Hello, Jeff Helvin here with Ballen Brands, and today I want to show you how to embed a Google map on your website. So a lot of times on our contact us page, it's a good idea to have, especially if we have walk-in traffic or if we have an office that people might come to, it's good to have directions on there, right? Something to show on the map kind of where you're at. Another thing, however, is a Google map sometimes having that location on your web page will help kind of make that tie or that connection from the search engine perspective to your website. And so it's just kind of another way to have one more link back or one more correlation between the search engines and the website itself. Search engines in this case being Google still as the dominant engine. So I want to show you how to do that. It's actually pretty simple. So here we go. So right now I have pulled up our website as a sample, ballenbrands.com. And I'm going to go over here to the Contact Us page. Now, in our case, we have multiple locations. My brother Paul Helvin, one of the owners, is in Seattle. So we have that. And then I'm based out of Las Vegas, but we have kind of our headquarters, if you will, in Boulder City. Now, we don't do a lot of walk-in traffic in our business, so we don't have the map by default on our page because we don't necessarily want someone just showing up per se. But if you have an office, maybe you work as a real estate agent, you have a broker's office or a brokerage office, something like that, then of course this would be a great idea. But we're going to show you how to do it either way, just so that you know how. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to maps.google.com. And if you already have a Google My Business page set up, in our case we have Ballen Brands. So if I click on Ballen Brands, we already have that business set up, so it shows right here on the map for us when I search it. Now if I were to search just the address itself, it doesn't necessarily connect my business to that address if you have a lot of different suites, right? So if you're in like kind of a complex or something like that, it may not necessarily go directly to yours or not have your name on it. So if you have the Google My Business, you'll want to go ahead and use your name up here. If you don't have Google My Business, then you could use the actual street address. And if I click on that, you'll see the street address comes up, same one that we have at our location here. But in this case, it doesn't say our name, right? So if you do have the Google My Business, it is a good idea just to go ahead and have that so that you can see here. So here I have pulled up and it shows a little red pin drop here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And once I click on that, it shows me these options over here. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on share. And then I can either send a link to somebody, maybe I'm just trying to share my location, but in this case I'm going to click on embed a map. All right, so once I click on that, it gives me this little option here. Now they have this small, medium, large, custom size option. I'm going to show you kind of how that plays out here in a minute, but we'll just go ahead and stick with medium, and we're going to copy that HTML. Okay, so now I have that, got what I need to add to my page. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back over here. I'm going to click on edit page. Now this particular page that we have built is using just the standard Gutenberg blocks. So when it comes to Gutenberg, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit this little plus sign to add a block, and I'm going to use custom HTML. So if you don't see that here, you just start to type in custom or HTML, and you'll see that block come up, and then I'm just going to paste that in. Now I use the medium size code, and really all that does is change the width and the height here. So you don't have to know beforehand what you're getting, but we'll go ahead and just pop that in there. And we're going to go ahead and preview our page as well. So preview in a new tab, pop that open, and so now you see the map. So this is the medium map. So you see it's pretty large. Obviously I can move it down below. Let me go ahead and just do that just to show you that sample. I can just click down and it'll pull it underneath instead. So maybe I want it there instead. So I'm going to preview that here, and you'll see it's down below. So that's great, right? I mean, it uses the whole space. It's got, it's got Ballen Brands on there. It's got the pin. I can click here to get directions. So it makes it pretty easy. I can still interact with it here too by zooming in and out on the map. So that's your embedded map. Now again, I can do little things like change the actual code. Let me go back here. Back to the HTML. So I can change things like this. Like if I went to small, for example, it might be 300 by 450. We'll go ahead and keep that. So let's preview. And there's also a built-in, you'll probably notice here, let's take a look. So Google is also built in right now to have kind of like so even though I put a restriction on it, it's actually showing up larger because it's got a piece of code that allows it to take the full available space. But you see how it'll shrink down when I go? So if you want it to be smaller or contained within a smaller space, we can create a block that's smaller as well. It's another option. All right, now I wanted to show you too also on Elementor and a page builder. It's a similar process here. So this is one of our real estate websites we have set up. Now, one thing to note that if I go to like a contact page on maybe one that we have integrated for real estate, this page is actually generated from the IDX integration, because if somebody registers here, it automatically makes them a lead and notifies you that way. So this isn't a standard contact form, so I can't really edit this page in particular. So that's something to keep in mind, that if you have a contact page that's fed in through a third party, we would just need to create a separate contact page instead. But in this case, I'm going to put it on our about page where we talk about the business and everything else. So I'm going to go ahead and log in to my admin here. All right, so we'll pull this page up. I'm going to go back to the website and click on About. That's how I like to get to my pages to edit. And I'm going to click here with the Edit with Elementor. So this particular theme is all built using the Elementor interface. So I just want to show you how to do that as well. So you'll see here they have different sections. So I'm doing the same thing here where I'm just using basically a code or a HTML, right? So I can search widgets just like I can in Gutenberg, and I can pull this over wherever I want it to show up. So maybe I want it to go ahead and show up below all of this information here, and then I'm going to paste in the HTML code, which is right here. I'll go ahead and click Update. Perfect. And then now I can view the page. And there you go. We've got our map built in here. So again, pretty simple. It's just a matter of going to maps.google.com, searching your actual business if you have that set up with Google My Business. And if you're not sure if you have Google My Business set up, you can simply go to google.com and type in your business name. And if you got this over on the right hand side, that's basically recognizing you as the business. You might see, if you type in your name or just your address, for example, you might see something else pop up here. Again, if you're part of a brokerage or something like that, you might have that show up instead. So it's just a quick way to see if you do have that option. But as far as this video is concerned, again, just showing you how to search for an address, copy that URL or that embed code, I should say, and then placing it on your WordPress website using either Gutenberg or Elementor. If you have any questions on that, by all means, you can reach out to us at team@ballenbrands.com.